Okay, good morning, guys. It's about 10 a.m. I slept in a lot later than I needed to. I've just been working all week and really been dealing with insomnia. I actually didn't go to sleep till about 3 a.m. last night, but we'll talk about that later in this video. But as promised, this is going to be my day in the life dealing with endometriosis slash PCOS because they are intertwined, and I do have endo, but literally every woman in my family suffers from either PCOS or endo, so I know a good amount about each. But normally when I'm not being a lazy bum and sleeping in all day, I get up and get my day started. I normally have a cup of coffee, or I will have a Bang energy drink. For my body, it is the only one that does not make me feel jittery or any of those other side effects, so that's the one that I choose. But yeah, I'm gonna go downstairs. I have some things I need to do before I get ready for work, so let's go. I got my Bang here. This is the flavor that I like. It literally reminds me of a Bomb Pop, and I think that's what they were going for. Anyways, and then also in the morning, what I like to do is I take 2 fish oil gummies. Now you can do some, and I always recommend doing your own research, but do some research on your own just to look up the benefits of it. But one major benefit of taking fish oil is it helps with inflammation. And that is a major thing. Endometriosis is basically when we shed our uterine lining each period, or each period you're releasing your egg. Everything grows on the wrong parts that it should on the outside. Like I have 2 growths on the outside of my uterus, which cause me a lot of pain, and I also have 1 growth on my bladder. So all that can swell up depending on your diet or anything. Your cycle may be on its way, and taking things like fish oil kind of help it stay down and not inflamed and cause a little less discomfort. But they do not taste the best, so I normally try and get the gummies. They do have like the liquid pill version you can take. I normally just try to basically chew it really fast and then make sure I have a drink. But we will basically do anything to not be in pain. Normally in the morning before, life is a little strange right now since the boys are spending the summer in Florida. That's typically what they do since, we are a military family. They don't get to see family as much, especially since I work and Zach works. We can't just load up and go home. So summer they normally go there. Normally I'm doing stuff for the kiddos before I get ready for work, making sure they're okay for the day. If there's a sitter or whatnot, getting their breakfast. But right now I'm living like a bachelor when Zach's on shift for 2 days. It's just me and the dogs. So right now, like I already said, I took my fish oil. I start with the Bang or cup of coffee. And even though I do have a job at a bra boutique, I'm a part-time reseller on Poshmark, Mercari, eBay, Kidizen. So that's what I'm doing right now. I am packaging up some orders for the post office before work. That's what I'm doing right now. I am fixing to scramble me up like a late breakfast, early lunch, just for me to have something to eat before I head to work, because that's the last thing you want to do is go to work hungry. And I have such a bad habit that I'm trying to stop, of just picking up food on my way to work, or having something dropped off. Right now we can't technically do that, so I think we have some leftover pulled pork. I think I'm gonna make me a pulled pork omelet. Let's do this. Okay, so let's talk about omelets and eggs in general. It's a good low carb, protein packed thing to eat. That's just good for our body. especially when you're just dealing with the issues that women like us struggle with each day. So omelets are kind of my go-to when I just really, for one, lately I've been going through a phase where like I don't want to eat. I know people are going to be shocked. Oh my God. You know, they think we just sit around eating all day. No. My husband's been making me eat. I've been eating 1 meal a day. Life's just been putting me through it. Anxiety's been putting me through it. Depression's been putting me through it. So I've been eating 1 meal a day. So when I'm just like really forcing myself to eat, an omelet is my go-to. Or I will boil some eggs, and I'll show you what I use later to do that. I literally paid like $10 for it like 7 years ago. It's a piece of junk now, but I still use it. I boil up some eggs. I'm gonna either just eat the boiled egg, or I will make egg salad, and just eat it out of the bowl, or I will get, I'll allow myself like 1 piece of bread sometimes, and I'll put it on and eat it, or I'll dip it with sliced cucumbers, just things like that. But today I'm making an omelet, and my husband made some pulled pork the other night, so I'm gonna chop up some of that. When it's almost ready to flip, throw that in there, put a slice of American cheese on it, and maybe pour some sauce on it, and there you go. Pretty simple, easy thing to do. Protein packed, no carbs, so it sounds boring, but it's actually just what I wanted. Maybe it'll give you some ideas on things to make for breakfast or lunch or dinner. This is kind of like, you can eat this breakfast, lunch, or dinner. Before I forget, I have to sit down really quick and eat my omelet, because I have like an hour's worth of stuff to do and 30 minutes before I leave for work. Procrastination, I do not know her. Oh, actually I do. I meant time management. I do not know her. That's better because I'm a mess. Anyways, before I forget, because I'm gonna rush and do this after I eat, brush my teeth, deodorant, all that good stuff, but let's talk about hydrating. Having PCOS and endometriosis, our bodies are literally working on overtime with hormones, which means we're known to have more body hair. We sweat more. All those things that you just really don't want to do as a woman. But one thing for me, I don't know if anybody else, like I can let my leg hair grow out. That's fine. My husband doesn't care. If you got a real man, he don't care. But I don't like having long armpit hair. And of course, our bodies are constantly growing hair, so I'm constantly shaving. And I'm already a crunchy person. I try to use organic, natural things, even like food-wise. I don't, guys, I like Dr. Pepper. I try. But I switched about a year ago to natural deodorant. This is the Smith's Rose and Vanilla Natural Deodorant. It helps neutralize odor and absorb wetness. It has no aluminum. That is good. If you look at your deodorant whenever you're using it and you just take 5 seconds to read the label, you will be appalled. And it's honestly like that for everything that we use on our bodies. So I couldn't figure out why my armpits were always hurting. I always thought I had ingrown hairs, or maybe it was like razor bumps, like razor rash. No, it was just my deodorant, all the chemicals and the aluminum in it scraping my skin. So I made the switch to this. You're gonna detox. You don't have to use this brand. You can use any natural one. There's so many out there. I just get that one from Target. I also have the lavender and sage scent. Your body is going to detox, and what that means is you are going to feel like you smell 10 times worse than you ever had in your life, but you're going to feel so good. My armpits are not irritated anymore. They're not inflamed or red, like the rest of my body. So yeah, I just want to talk about hygiene and that product for a second while I'm thinking about it. So yeah, now I'm going to run around like a chicken with its head cut off, and I'm going to try to get back to y'all when I get to work. To show you guys my omelet. Of course, on the day when I need to show people actual food, I make omelets all the time and they turn out great. This looks a hot mess, but trust me, it's delicious. There's some of the pulled pork. I normally top it with salsa, but today I just put a little bit of hot sauce. I was just feeling a little feisty. But yeah, just simple. Make sure you at least eat a meal. You need it. You deserve it. Okay, I am home now from work. Honestly, I forgot I was filming this today. But I guess it's better I don't film while I'm at work. But Work was good today. As far as maybe I'll talk a little bit about how I deal with issues and working. Thankfully, a lot of my coworkers have a lot of the similar issues as I do. One of my coworkers has actually had a hysterectomy already like 10 years ago due to the same issues I have. So that's the route I need to go down when I finally work up the courage. My doctor definitely, he's mentioned it a lot. The last time I actually went to the doctor, he wanted to like schedule it the next day. Like he was like, we need to, it needs to happen. So, thankfully I'm very blessed in that aspect. My boss, is literally the sweetest person. I'm thankful every day to have her not only as a boss but a friend. She struggles with the issues. I'm not going to talk about hers because that's not my place, but whenever I'm working and say it's my time of the month or I'm just having a flare-up, we kind of have this code that I've just kind of made with her. I say I need to go to the bathroom, and I normally do go to the bathroom, but if I just need a second to like get through a flare-up or a cramp or anything or change myself, I just go to the bathroom, and they thankfully are okay with that, and we work around it. It doesn't happen all the time. I don't have issues every single day, which I'm blessed, but there's been some rough days that I didn't think I would be able to make it during my whole shift, and you have to. We don't have a choice in this life if we have these issues, if we can just turn it off. So I just pushed through it. Today I felt really good. I'm not having any flare-ups. It's not my time of the month. Praise the Lord for that. We were a little bit busy just because, you know, COVID is making everything weird right now. So it was just me and another coworker basically sending out online orders. That's what a lot of retail places can only do right now. And then just doing regular shipment and things. But that's catching you guys up to that speed. Normally, I have this deal where if I work and Zach is working as well, I will, after work, come home, depending on the time, get changed, and I go and walk the track just to get some type of exercise in. I'm still debating on that right now because it is about 97 degrees outside, and walking on a black tarmac, is that how you say it? Track, with heat and sun just blaring down on me, that could be a little, but I still want to go, so maybe we will go do that. I do want to talk about exercising a little bit. I've actually tried to film this video several days. I've just been going through it. The first day I recorded, I spent most of the time crying into the camera, so I didn't think people really wanted to see that, even though mental health is a big part of this lifestyle. It's just intertwined. It just causes a lot of issues. But I wanted to talk about exercising because the whole reason I asked people if they wanted me to start this vlog is I get comments all the time, whether it be from strangers or family members, friends, on if I just work out, if I just change my diet, all my issues will go away. For some people, yes. If you tell somebody that has PCOS, people with PCOS, they hold body fat. People don't understand that. You could be changing your diet, you could be exercising. If you've already gained weight, your body is going to hold on to that body fat. It's harder for people with PCOS and Endo to lose weight. It's just a fact. There's science, there's studies on that. So when you tell somebody just go work out, that is honestly, in my opinion, the stupidest comment. It's just ignorant. And I'm going to talk upon that a little bit from my own personal experiences. So for a while, before I had my second son, I was able to get by working out and eating, and that was kind of like helping my issues with Endo. Actually, at this point, I was not technically diagnosed with Endo. I was just kind of living with these issues for like 10 years of my life, not knowing. Basically, when I turned 11, my period started, and from 11 to 24, when I had Joseph, I had all these issues that I just thought it was a bad period and I was being a baby. I just needed to get over it. At 24 years old, I had my second son. I had our oldest when I was 21, so there's 3 years in between them, like just under 3 years. During my C-section, my second C-section, is when they finally diagnosed it. I'm pretty sure when I had my first C-section, the doctor knew, and she just didn't tell me, which makes me disgusted. Anyways, that's a whole nother topic. When I was having my second son, they had to actually cut my growths off of my uterus before they could even get him out. So my C-section took a little bit longer. Thankfully, I had a great birthing team. I had a great anesthesiologist, my doctor. Oh my God, if I could move back to New Mexico, Dr. Cross in Clovis, New Mexico would be my doctor for the rest of my life. He's amazing. I can't rave about him. The nurses there were awesome. Once he noticed it, he immediately said, "Sweetie, you do have some keloids, some growths." At the time, he called it that. I'm going to remove those, and then we're going to safely remove Joseph. We had discussed maybe tying my tubes at that time, but since my C-section took so long and I was losing a lot of blood, they just kind of got the growths out, got Joseph out, put everything back in, and then stitched me up, and we went from there. And then after that, he kind of walked me through what I had, because I had already discussed a lot of issues I had before having the boys, and because after I had Joseph, I didn't want to go back to that, so we discussed things before, and then he was like, "Sweetie, you have endometriosis, and it's pretty bad, and this is why you've been having," and he basically told me my children were miracle babies, because from what he could see and the issues I had with my first birth, I shouldn't have even got pregnant. So to this day, I just can't be thankful enough. I'm very blessed. So after having Joseph, I could work out. After having Alex, I did have some issues, but after Joseph, I couldn't run. Running was very hard for me. Not only did I have a second C-section, my endo had intensified. It was back. My growths had grown back. The ablation from him cutting it out didn't work. They grew back. Any type of exercise I would do, I would immediately bleed. It didn't matter if I was on my period already, if I wasn't on my period. It would either be full-on bleeding or spotting, and it was very discouraging because I had finally started lifting weights again with my husband. We have an in-home gym in our garage set up, treadmill, weight bench, all of that. I used to love to do deadlifts. That was my favorite. But it got to the point where I was having so much blood loss from just trying to exercise, even just running or walking, that I would pass out. So when people tell me just to go work out, you're stupid. You have no idea what it's like to live like this. And I'm not just sitting around all day not doing anything. Diet helps, but your body does need some type of exercise. And when I can't even do that, that's when my mental health takes over, and it makes you go into depression. So don't say that to me. Now, it's 2 years later, 2.5 years later, because Joseph will be 3 in November. I can walk again. I can do 2 or 3 miles and I'll be okay. I still can't really run. If I run, I can do maybe half a mile at the most, and then my body just is ugh. I cannot lift weights. That really strains my body because you're using all your stomach muscles, your core, everything, your lower pelvic wall, literally everything. You don't really think about it at the time, so that's just too much strain on my body. But I'm hoping as I make these vlogs, I can go on this journey with people, and maybe I can see things that work with me, and if anybody's having the same issues, we can knock this out. But like I said, I'm thinking about going and walking the tracks. I can do that. I'll do the last time I went Sunday. Today is Friday, so it's been almost a week since I've been able to go. I did 2.5 miles, and I felt pretty good afterwards, so that was a small victory in itself. But that's just speaking upon the exercising part. you're not alone. The struggle. Okay, I'm out here. I'm doing it. I was having really bad anxiety about going to the track because lately there's been a lot of people at the track, so I just bypassed the track and I walked straight to this little walking path we have that's like on the outskirts of base. That's the outside of base. Those are just houses. I like coming down this trail and walking it because I see so many bunnies. I've already seen like 2 bunnies, and it doesn't take much to make me happy in life. Like, that's already made my entire day. 2 cute little fluffy bunnies. Of course they're scared of me and jumped away, but just seeing them made me happy. And somebody back there is grilling burgers and it smells so good. But I'm gonna do some walking. I'm gonna try to do 2 miles and get back to you guys. Okay, so I did end up going out and doing my workout for the day, my walk. And I use just the activity tracker on my iPhone to keep track of my steps each day. And I did an hour of walking, and I did about just under 6,000 steps. So probably like 1.5 miles, 2 miles, depending on, I'm not really sure. But that's how many I did and for how long. And to talk back about that, exercising in this lifestyle. Some days we can't, and that's okay, but on the days that you can, it has to be your idea. If you are not in the right mindset, just don't even bother pushing yourself, because you're just gonna make yourself miserable, and it's gonna keep your mind further away from wanting to do it. It's just like when people do diets, they deprive themselves, and it's just miserable, and you want it even more than you did before. So it has to be mind over matter, and that's okay. It's tough, like I already discussed, to even work out. So, and then to get your mind on board when you're already thinking about it's probably not even going to make a difference. You just have to be positive and kind of trust the process and be in the right mindset. And that's okay. Okay, this part is probably extremely unnecessary for this daily vlog. You might not even be able to hear me, but let's talk about showers. And yes, I hope you like my shower curtain. I'm a moon child. I'm a night owl. I resonate with her so much. So I have a lot of moon decor in my house. Anyway, showers. I'm bathing myself, as you should, because I did my walking today, and it's just, you should just shower. But what I'm talking about this is when I'm dealing with flare-ups, or it's my time of the month, or, you know, just body issues with Endo or PCOS, shower is my best friend. Or a very, very, very hot bath. I mean, as hot as my water will go. My legs will be burnt when I get out. Don't necessarily do that to yourself. I guess I should put a disclaimer. I do not advise burning your skin, but just heat compress can feel so good on the body. It really helps everything loosen up and just feel better. Heating pads, live by those, swear by those. But yeah, I just wanted to include that. Sometimes when it's the time of the month for me, if I have any free time from work or my kids, I'm in the bath. I'm soaking. I have bath salts, bath oils, soft music playing, lights off, maybe a candle on, or maybe whatever. Finding my happy place. And yeah, just a little tidbit. Okay guys, I got a little sun today on my walk. This is gonna be the end of it for today. I don't want to make this like 5 hours long. I know it's pretty boring, but this is just my first day of doing this vlogs type deal. But I'm just gonna talk about how I end my day. Like I said, right now my routine is a little different since my kids aren't here, but I'm just gonna talk about what I do now. I try to get 1 more cup of water in me. Water is great for her skin. I can't really help all this cystic hormonal, but like all these new breakouts I get from my love of Dr. Pepper, I'm trying really hard to one a week. And sometimes when I eat bad things, it gives me some of these new breakouts. So I try to get in as much water as I can, at least one more cup before I go to bed. Tonight I don't do this every night. I take 2 Melatonin Gummies, or you can take the pill, whichever. I just get the natural brand. It's literally called Natural. Natural spelled normal, but at the end it's TROL. I get mine at Target. It's like $12 for 60 gummies, and you can take 2 at a time. Just because I have really bad insomnia, and sometimes that just kind of like gives me a little push to go to bed after I lay down in bed for an hour, honestly. I will probably put some sort of anime on. That is really what I like to watch at night. During the day, I'm normally watching some kind of true crime, horror, or listening to a podcast. But at night, I just like to kind of lay down, watch some anime, and just kind of slowly, hopefully, fall asleep. Right now, I'm watching Blue Exorcist. It's really good. It's on Netflix. It's just 1 season, but it's really good. But yeah, I hope maybe this video was some sort of helpful, inspiring, motivational. I don't know, just maybe raw to see somebody, I guess, just talking about things that you're dealing with. I was a little scattered, so I like didn't show anything about dinner. I skipped over that, but for dinner, I literally just had a salad. Because I said in the very beginning lately, I've been really, really struggling with my inner demons, my anxiety and my depression, so I have been skipping meals. And I had that omelet for breakfast and that energy drink, and that's literally all I had all day. And then after I took a shower, I was like, I didn't eat anything for dinner, so I just made me a bowl of some lettuce with some cheese, some yogurt ranch. I'll show some of that next time, but I prefer the yogurt ranch, and called it a day, because at least I got some type of something in my belly, you know, even though everybody thinks we're out there stuffing our faces all day. Anyways, I hope everybody has a great weekend this weekend. I'm hopefully gonna upload this tomorrow, Saturday, May 24th, 2020. So crazy to say 2020, even though we're already in May. Have a good weekend, and I gotta say it, as always, stay happy.